Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorama mritangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let us offer our salutations to Lord Krishna, the Supreme Teacher of the mankind, the bliss of Vasudeva Devaki, who killed the demons Kamsa and Chanura who were tormenting the people. Let us pray to the Divine Lord to lead us from the unreal to the real, to lead us from the darkness of ignorance to the light of knowledge, to lead us from death to immortality. We have been studying Bhagavad Gita, Ch.3, Karma Yoga, Yoga of Action. Lord Krishna has given everything that we need, but we have to do it properly. We have to learn and practice. That is the purpose of the divine. Sri Ramakrishna explains that this whole creation is but the game of the Lord. We all love, in a general way, playing. In fact, the source of playing is Lord Himself. He Himself wants to play. And He is playing through His creation. So, we are on this earth to play properly. And it is very essential that we should know the technique of play. Then only our play will be over. Otherwise, it will be a continuous play. You have to learn the play. You are forced to learn the play. And you have to play the game. No escape. People think by committing suicide they escape the life. Not at all. They are making the life more complicated. In the next life also they commit suicide. Because the tendency is lodged in the mind. It keeps on repeating. The point is one has to really learn. Verse number 10. Sahajñāv prajaha srishtva purovacha prajapatihi anena prasavishyadvam esha vostvishta kamaduk. So the Divine Lord created mankind together with sacrifice. And commanded, by this shall ye propagate. Let this be the milk cow of your desires. that is Kamadhenu, which is called celestial cow, which yields whatever we desire. Sri Ramakrishna tells an episode how this playing with the Kalpataru creates havoc. That means if you are constantly hankering after desires, the desires devour you. They destroy you completely. So, one has to be really careful about entertaining desires. This way, again and again, Lord Krishna also tells in the Bhagavad Gita, Nisprahaha, be desireless. That means keep the desire to a certain limit. Don't go beyond the limit. So Sri Ramakrishna tells in the parable, in the Gospel, once a person was walking through the jungle. Those days, there was no plane or automobile. Either they have to go by cart, bullock cart, or they have to walk. Anyway, this traveler was walking through the jungle. Walking and walking, he became exhausted. He badly needed rest. So, of course, since he was walking through the forest, trees are there. So he selected one tree and sit under the tree. So, as soon as he come under the tree, he felt a little relief. And then, immediately the desire came, let me lie down for some time. Afterwards I can continue my traveling. It gives me strength. It removes my fatigue. Like that he began to convince himself just to satisfy the desire. The desire is to sleep, to lie down. But under the tree it is not so easy to lie down. Even if you lie down, it is a hard ground, stones and weeds and twigs. So even though you lie down, you may not get really sleep. You may not get really rest at all. Anyway, then another design cropped up. Well, how nice it would be if I had a cot to lie down. He was dreaming, daydream. But most surprisingly, which he couldn't believe, the minute he thought of it, somehow the cart was there. Oh boy, I have a cart. He became ecstatic. Then he lay down. Then another desire raised its head. What is that? Well, No doubt the cot is comfortable. I can take rest. But I am hungry. So it would be nice if I could get some food. Is it ever possible in the forest? So the idea, the desire, once it came up to his mind, immediately he found lots of dishes arrived there from nowhere. He was totally surprised. Well, he thought probably God is showing special grace on me. So he ate sumptuously. Then afterwards, was it the end of the desire? No. Another desire came to his mind. What is that? How nice it would be if somebody would come and massage my feet. See how the one after the other, the desire is leading him. The moment he thought of that, there was already most beautiful celestial angel arrived with a pleasant smile. She began to serve him, massage his feet. So he was very happy. But was it the end of the desire? Suddenly another thought came. Well, I am getting all these comforts and I am surely getting good rest. And I am about to fall asleep now. But it's a jungle. Who knows? Lots of wild animals are here. Suppose a tiger would come and attack. What would be my fate? Just the thought came to him. Immediately the tiger came. He roared and it devoured him. So, what to do with such a person? He was under a boon-giving tree, boon-giving tree, kalpataru. Whatever he wanted, he got. People ordinarily are like that. They keep on getting things what they wanted. Sometimes they get easily, sometimes through some effort. Sometimes unknowingly from nowhere they get things. But are they satisfied? They don't know what to ask for. That's why sacrifice was given by the Creator. Tyag. Try to share. Don't become more and more selfish. You're not born to become selfish. You're born here to become selfless. The more you are selfless, the more you enjoy real peace and bliss. Life is like a sacrifice. Think your life as yajna. So, Lord Krishna says, if you use this guidance certainly you will prosper. In order to prosper, the only way is to live a dedicated life. Let your entire life be a sacrifice. That means don't be caught under the net of desires. They are the cause of suffering and miseries. They are the cause for creating troubles. They are the troublemakers. And you don't know what sort of crime you do in order to satisfy your desires. It's common experience. Everybody in one way or other passes through this experience. Sometimes the desires may give some kind of joy, but mostly they give kicks and blows. They make person more and more unhappy, unpleasant. So mind will be made full of stress and strain. So we must live to share with others. Sacrifice is the law of life. This is said only to mankind, because all other species are already doing it. Everything in this creation seems to exist to be used by others. Their very life is a sacrifice. They live not for themselves, but for others. They are still under the direct guidance of Prakriti. No other species in this creation has the freedom humankind has. How the air, water, the Panchamahabhutas, 5 elements, they are all for us. They are constantly serving humanity, constantly serving the creation. In nature's college, we are all under the control of the cosmic law. In a simple devotee's language, every minute God simply tells us what to do, and we should do it. We should not misbehave. So, if any individual wants to prosper, to lead a peaceful and genuine happy life, a life that is headed upward, he should keep in mind this question: am I leading a dedicated life? Is my life a sacrificial life? The entire world is a sacrificial altar. We should be constantly sacrificing ourselves. That is yajna. The more you give, the more you get. There is great joy, spiritual joy in giving. But give wholeheartedly. You get that spiritual happiness only when you don't expect anything in return. People do give, but they give for selfish purposes. They want their business to go up, so they donate some amount of money to the concerned authorities and get their desire done. That's not yajna. You are giving with the expectation to get back something In fact, you want more than what you give. That's not yajna. Don't expect anything. Give, give, give. That's why there is custom, well-established custom. It is written in the scriptures, whatever income you get, keep a part of it for activities, selfless activities, for charitable activities. Keep a portion of that. At least 1/4 of what you earn should be kept apart. Don't make use of all the thing for your own self. You have to practice sacrifice. Devan bhavayatanena te deva bhavayantu vaha parasparam bhavayantaha sheyaha paramavapsyatha. Through sacrifice, you cherish the gods and they cherish you. Thus, loving one another, you reap the very highest. After giving away the sacrifice, you become more expanded in heart. So, offer worship to gods. And they also will be ready to help you in so many ways. They bless you in so many ways. So you must establish relationship with the divine. When you sacrifice your life and do things for others' sake, the others in return will do the same to you. Their goodwill is always present. If a person has decided to stay away from killing to eat, he will not kill. He will not eat meat. Neither does he kill nor does he eat what is killed by others. Such a person will be worshipped by all the creatures of the world. They will simply love him, praise and worship him. Even a wild dog will wag his tail at such a person, sensing he is non-violent. You have not caused violence to any animal, they know that. Don't think that only we have the modern scientific communication. The plant and animal kingdoms have their own communication media. If you have saved the life of an animal somewhere, and if you come across another animal who may not be of the same species, it will express its gratitude. Yes, you saved my brother, I know. I got the message. If you sacrifice for others, then all the souls will appreciate your sacrifice and bless you. Thus ultimately you will reap the supreme blessing. All the saints, how they have shown through their life. Swami Vivekananda, once he was walking along, he totally relied upon the divine. Just he was sitting on a rock in a wooded place. He was hungry. He just left it to God. Just at that time a tiger came. The tiger also was hungry. See, whatever the animals feel, their feelings are more intense than human beings. Animals have that excessive feelings. So it was running fast towards Swami Vivekananda was sitting on the rock. At last I got a food for me. Like that it came. But it came running and stood in front of Swamiji. It just gazed at him and ran back. It did not attack him at all. You can read this in the life story of Vivekananda. Because the goodwill was so great, so intense. Even if you read Ramana Maharshi's life, you see how all the animals would come near him, would sit on his shoulders without any fear. And it is said also, the rishis who used to do tapas in the hermitages in the forest, because of their sattvic qualities, the animals would be very friendly. They will not have any enmity towards one another. So like that, the feeling of goodwill has got such tremendous effect. Ishtan bhogan hivo deva dasyante yajna bhavitaha tayiddartana pradayebhyo yo bhunkte stena eva saha. Cherished by your spirit of sacrifice, the gods give you everything you want. But remember, whoever receives gifts from the gods without offering anything back is a thief. These are the words of Sri Krishna. There are 5 types of giving and taking. If you take 100% and don't give anything in return, you can be called a thief. If you take 100% and give 50%, you are a debtor. If you take 100% and give 100%, you are a good business person. Next, if you take 50% and give 100%, you are called a righteous person. But if someone takes nothing and gives even 10%, 15% or 100%, whatever possible, what do you call that person? A saint, a yogi. He doesn't take anything. He always gives. We should always examine our transactions and discover in which category we put ourselves. Thief, debtor, business person, righteous person, or a saint. If you are already 1, try to be number 2. If you are number 2, try to promote yourself to number 3. Stop not till the 5th category is reached. That means till you become a saint, don't stop doing good things. Yajnashishtasinaha santo muchyante sarvakilbishayihi bunjate te tvagam papaye pachanti atmakaranat. Righteous people who eat what is left after yajna are freed from past sins. But those who prepare food only for themselves, just for themselves, they are creating more sin. What does it mean? You don't cook just for yourself, but to feed others. If there is anything left over, then you eat. Then you are free from sin. Not that you are doing any charity, but you are simply not committing a sin. In Hindu tradition, if your mother cooks some food, the father should come out of the house and look this way and that for at least 15 minutes. If he sees somebody walking, he should ask, "Sir, do you want to eat? Would you like to have some food?" If the passerby has not eaten, then bring him in and give him food until he says, "Enough, enough." Then if there is anything left over, the family eats. If the guest eats everything, he should not even cook again. It means God did not want you to eat that day. Your own self has already eaten in the form of that guest. Anyway, that was a tradition, old tradition, prevalent. I don't know whether the tradition is still prevail. In fact, I recollect my little experience. I was a student going to the college, and I was going to the ashram, Bangalore, every day. One day it so happened, some person came to the house where I was there, and he was talking very friendly. It was about 12 o'clock or so, and lunchtime came. Because those days I used to cook myself in my room. And I asked him, "Will you please take food?" Spontaneously asked, not that I knew the Indian tradition, Hindu tradition, etc. The idea came, the person is here, lunchtime. So I offered. He said, "Oh yes, I will take." And he ate. I was amazed. He consumed big quantity of food because probably I had not eaten. Next day he came and expressed his great gratitude. "Oh Swamiji, I ate so much I could not sleep." He said, sacrifice. That's the point. Tyag. You have to develop that quality. Don't condemn yourself as incorrigible. Then you can't raise yourself at all if you put it to that position. You are locking yourself inside. Break open the lock. Develop your character. Self-condemnation is worst. It ruins a person. No condemnation. There is hope for everybody. There is a famous episode in the Mahabharata. Once the Pandavas conducted a great sacrificial yajna, a royal ceremony. It was done with all pomp and show and at great expense. Lots of people came and they all enjoyed it very much. They were all sitting and appreciating the food. They saw a strange looking mongoose running towards them. this story is in Mahabharata. This mongoose started rolling in the remnants of the offered food and flowers there. Then the mongoose stood up, shook his head, looked completely disappointed. The host stood and said, "What is this? You are not an ordinary mongoose. You seem a little peculiar. We see one half of your body is golden, other half is ordinary mongoose color. How did this happen?" "Oh, that's a long story. I don't know whether it is worth telling you." "Please tell us," the host demanded. Then the mongoose began to tell the story, how its half body became golden. So he was just an ordinary mongoose, natural body color, nothing gold, etc. One day he was roaming around. He came across a small hut. He just sat outside and watched what was happening there. A poor teacher, his wife, his son and daughter-in-law, they were living in that small hut. At that time there was a terrible famine. Food was very scarce. They didn't have anything to eat. But fortunately, because he was a teacher, one of his old students had brought some flour to be cooked into some rotis. The teacher's wife was preparing it. Everything was ready. As usual, the teacher, a pious man, came out looking this way and that to see if anybody was there. Because the scriptures say to treat the one who comes as God, who comes in the form of the guest. Atiti Devo Bhava. Matu Devo Bhava, Pitru Devo Bhava, Atiti Devo Bhava, Achari Devo Bhava. All those ideals are gone now. Anyway, the teacher saw somebody coming and he himself offered, "Sir, would you like to have some food?" "Oh yes, I am feeling very hungry." He was invited in. The wife had 4 rotis, one for each person, for that family. Husband, wife, son, daughter-in-law. So when the guest was brought in, the teacher gave his share to the guest. The guest ate it. Then the wife came up. "Sir, may I offer one more?" "Sure. I don't know why I am so terribly hungry." So he ate that roti also, given by that lady. When the son and daughter-in-law saw this, they came with their shares too. "Sir, we would like to offer these also if you can eat them." "I think I can." And then he did. Then he said, "Well, thank you so much. God bless you all." And he just walked out. In half an hour, all the 4 collapsed. Because they didn't eat, First of all, they had not eaten for some days because of drought condition. They died because they were so weak from this terrible hunger. But the mongoose said, "I saw that they died in a state of joy. I was watching everything. I was also hungry." Mongoose said, "So I went to see if anything had dropped to the ground as they made the rotis. I saw only a little flour and crumbs. It was not even fit to eat. Just I went there and rolled over it. And then I got up. I saw half of my body had become golden because their sacrifice was so great." Then I understood, oh, there's something mysterious, miraculous and divine in their actions. Yes, they truly dedicated their lives for the sake of another. They performed a truly beautiful yajna. Then somehow I got this crazy idea. Well, how am I going to get the other half also golden color? So ever since that day, I have been traveling and rolling about everywhere. Then I heard that Yudhishthir, the great Pandav, was preparing the royal yajna. So I thought, surely this will be much greater than those 4 people. So I came running all the way here. But now, you see, the mongoose indicated his body, which was still only half golden, not so good. You should have seen Yudhishthira's face. So it is not the pomp and show, but the quality of your heart in the sacrifice that's important. In the Pandavas yajna, there is also sacrifice, but probably it was mingled with a little pride. We are doing it. Those poor people had humility in their offering, and they really experienced God. In this light we can judge our own actions. It might look charitable, but is it really? Does it have that touch of selflessness? If your actions are like that, you are already liberated. You may still be in the human form, walking around like anybody else, but you are God on the face of the earth. That is the greatness of Karma Yoga. I think we shall stop here. A consecration ceremony to celebrate the completion of the construction of phase 1 of Sri Ramakrishna Universal Temple will be held at the temple site in Glen village, 2 miles from Lemont Hindu Temple. The program is arranged from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Sunday, July 1st. All are invited to actively participate in the ceremony. We will be performing Ganapati Homa, Navagraha Homa and Sri Ramakrishna Homa. You can sponsor and participate in the Homa. There are 2 categories. One is Archana participant, another is sponsor to become a participant in the Homa. So you can contact the office for details. Chant the name of the Lord and His glory unceasingly, that the mirror of the heart may be wiped clean and quench that mighty forest fire, worldliness raging furiously within. O name stream down in moonlight on the lotus heart, opening its cup to knowledge of thyself. O self, down deep in the waves of His bliss, tasting His nectar at every step, bathing in His name that both for various souls. Various are thy names, O Lord. In each and every name thy power resides. No times are set, no rites are needful for chanting of thy name. So vast is thy mercy. How huge then is my wretchedness, who find in this empty life and heart no devotion to thy name. O my mind, be humbler than a blade of grass. Be patient and forbearing like a tree. Take no honor to thyself, give honor to all. Chant unceasingly the name of the Lord. O Lord and soul of the universe, mine is no prayer for wealth or retinue. The playthings of lust or the ties of fame. As many times as I may be reborn, grant me, O Lord, a steadfast love for thee. A drowning man in this world's fearful ocean is thy servant, O sweet one. In thy mercy consider him as dust beneath thy feet. Oh, how I long for the day when the instant separation from thee, O Lord, will be as 1,000 years, when my heart burns away with its desire, and the world without thee is a heartless void. Prostrate at thy feet let me be, in unwavering devotion, neither imploring the embrace of thine arms, nor bewaring the withdrawal of thy presence, though it tears my soul asunder. O thou, who stillest the hearts of thy devotees, Do with me what thou wilt, for thou art my heart's beloved, thou and thou alone. O Lord, lead us from unreal to the real, lead us from darkness to light, and lead us from death to immortality. May all be free from dangers, may all realize what is good, may all be actuated by noble thoughts, may all rejoice everywhere. May all be happy, may all be free from disease, may all realize what is good, may none be subject to misery. May the wicked become virtuous, may the virtuous attain tranquility, may the tranquil be free from bonds, may the freed make others free. May good betide all people, may the sovereign righteously rule the earth, may all beings ever attain what is good, may the worlds be prosperous and happy, may the clouds pour rain in time, may the earth be blessed with crops, may all countries be freed from calamity, may holy men live without fear. May the Lord, the destroyer of sins, the presiding deity of all sacred works, be satisfied. For he being pleased, the whole universe becomes pleased. He being satisfied, the whole universe feels satisfied.